For those that don't know, the Supreme Court ruled Monday for the Trump administration and agreed U.S. immigration agents may stop and detain anyone they suspect in the U.S. illegally based on little more than working at a gas station, at a restaurant, at a car wash, speaking Spanish, or having brown skin.
Our time to be Latino in this country. I feel like it's really heartbreaking to hear, the decision that came out yesterday from the Supreme Court, that now it's okay to racially profile people, to target places where low-wage workers gather for daily labor, that speaking Spanish, it's okay to target somebody because they speak Spanish. And especially as a mom, I'm putting so much effort to try to teach my daughter Spanish.
I woke up a little defeated today because I was reading about Donald Trump and his Supreme Court ruling and the immigrants, and whiteness in the Latino community is never going to be in the favor that they want it to be in. At the end of the day, you are going to be Latino no matter what. They don't want you. They could care less about you. And reading those comments, especially the person that said, well, if you look suspicious, you should be stopped.
It's already been barred, worse, to be honest, for the Latinos and the Hispanic community, Black and brown people. But it's just getting even worse because the Supreme Court legalized, racial profiling. Too bad. Latino people, the Hispanic people, they now have to work with their documents to prove they are American. Only for a few people that were able to sell their own for peanuts. And also not even being able to sit on that table and celebrate. Because, unfortunately, if you sell your brother, even the buyer does not respect you. Welcome back to the channel, my people. I do hope that from wherever you are watching this from, you are doing all right. Hopefully God has protected you and preserved you very well. Thank you to all of you that keep supporting me on here. Big shout out to my members and every person that contributes or does something to this channel. We have reactions of Latino people that are in panic mode, very concerned, calling meetings in their own community. Some, from what it looks like, are not even going to be able to leave their houses anymore because of what the Supreme Court just did yesterday. Yeah. And I think I want us to look at some of the reactions of these people, their concerns, and more of the reactions of other people. And we'll come back and talk about it. Just do me a favor, like the video, share it. If you find it interesting and if you like and love this channel, I would request you to subscribe to the channel as well. That would do me amazing. I'll be back.
For those that don't know, the Supreme Court ruled Monday for the Trump administration and agreed U.S. immigration agents may stop and detain anyone they suspect in the U.S. illegally based on little more than working at a gas station, at a restaurant, at a car wash, speaking Spanish, or having brown skin. That is all they need. If you speak Spanish or have brown skin, you are in danger. My family's in danger. And we have to step up. We have to be the change. We have to spread the word. Make sure to keep your family as safe as you can, let them be informed, and that's the best that we can do. But, yep, the Supreme Court ruled this on Monday for the Trump administration.
What a morning. If you guys aren't aware, if you guys don't keep up, just hope you guys know that the Supreme Court ruled that it is now okay to racially profile immigrants to detain them. Like, that sounds so crazy. I mean, it was already happening. It just officially became okay to do, like now they could be like, okay, yeah, this person looks like an immigrant, let's detain them, pull them over, whatever. And that's crazy to me. Like, I don't even know what to say, because maybe things sometimes, like, we don't hear about them, or like they don't die down, but maybe we don't hear about them as much, but stuff is still happening and we need to be aware of it. Like I said, if you see anything, raids, immigration, anything going on, or distract them, let people know, post it, speak about it. I know on here I have the people that I need to have, and if you hadn't seen any of my posts, it's Donald Trump, and it always will be.
Everyone, so we have to wrap up the pickets a bit early today just because of today's Supreme Court ruling, because immigrant groups had to have an emergency meeting to discuss what are our next steps going to be, because the Supreme Court has now ruled that ICE can racially profile people and ask anyone on the street who looks Latino and speaks Spanish for their legal status. So now the risk is very real of people, even like me, being stopped on the street because of how I'm dressed, how I look, or if I speak Spanish in public, because to ICE, that will be suspicious enough to ask me for my legal status. Not only am I extremely pissed like I've been for the past 3 months, but now more than ever, we need to pass Senate Bill 627, at least in the state of California, and make it a misdemeanor for ICE agents and Border Patrol officers to have their faces covered. Because if they're going to stop us on the street for the suspicious thing of looking brown in America or speaking Spanish, then we must know who is stopping us and what their faces look like. So if you're upset with what's going on in today's Supreme Court ruling that is further allowing the terrorism of our immigrant community and the targeting of just Latino people in general, then continue making those calls to Assemblywoman Michelle Rodriguez's office and James Ramos's office. Continue to pressure them to pass Senate Bill 627. Continue to report ICE sightings, because now more than ever, it is going to get bad. It is going to get ugly. But the question is, are you going to back down, or are you going to stand up? While the movement decides where are we going and what are we going to do, it is so very important that everybody starts carrying their passports, especially people who look like us, because we are now at risk because of this Supreme Court ruling. So if you haven't gotten involved yet and you haven't started organizing your community to get people involved and get people organized to protect their neighbors and protect yourself as well, then now is the time, because the Supreme Court has paved the way to make this so much worse.
Hard time to be Latino in this country. I feel like it's really heartbreaking to hear, the decision that came out yesterday from the Supreme Court, that now it's okay to racially profile people, to target places where low-wage workers gather for daily labor, that speaking Spanish. It's okay to target somebody because they speak Spanish. And especially as a mom, like, I'm putting so much effort to try to teach my daughter Spanish, and to think that teaching her Spanish could make her a target. And obviously, like, I was born in this country, my daughter was born in this country, but it feels like it doesn't even matter. Like, this is not even about doing it the right way. This is not about being legal, whatever that even means. It's not about being documented. It's about racism. And today, like, I just don't have it in me to, like, I'm just really sad. I don't have it in me to pretend. I don't have it in me to get up on this app and film a silly little outfit video, because I'm really heartbroken. And I know that my kids feel it. I hear it in the halls. I hear them talking to each other. I hear them trying to comfort each other. They come in here and, it's like, it's real. Like, this affects real people. On the first day of school, we had ICE vehicles parked right outside our campus. Nobody came in. They just stayed in their vehicles. But it was like a message. Sorry, I'm emotional, but you know what? I'm a therapist, and I'm always encouraging people to let their emotions out. So I'm just letting myself be vulnerable and share how I really am feeling and not hold it in. But yeah, it was the first day of school. The first day of school when parents are so excited to bring their kids. And I don't care how old your kid is. If you're a parent, you get it. That first day of school is so emotional. People take time off work. People sacrifice days, show up because they want to drop off their kids. And when my students came to school on the first day of school, there was an ICE vehicle parked right outside. I called my principal and I'm like, hey, what's going on? She said, I don't know. I don't know why they're here, but they're here. We're ready to protect our students. We won't let them in unless they have a warrant. But that was enough to intimidate a lot of parents who saw the vehicle and turned around and didn't come in. This is a school that serves 95% Latinos. And I don't know, just like this news, and this has been ongoing. Like, there's been a lot of raids in this community. It's really hard to be a Latina in Los Angeles today on September 9. It was really hard yesterday on September 8th, and it's been really hard summer. And even graduations were really hard, and we've all been trying to like hold it in and keep it together for our kiddos, but I feel like it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
I woke up a little defeated today because I was reading about Donald Trump and his Supreme Court ruling and the immigrants, and whiteness in the Latino community is never going to be in the favor that they want it to be in. At the end of the day, you are going to be Latino no matter what. They don't want you, they could care less about you. And reading those comments, especially the person that said, well, if you look suspicious, you should be stopped. I clicked on their profile, bitch, you look like a whole Aztec. Yo, ass on the chopping block, Miss Thing. You think they're just gonna walk by you and not stop you because you don't look suspicious? What the f does looking suspicious mean? Is it because you have indigenous features? Is it because you leave your house and you're wearing Carhartt pants with paint stains on them? Is it because you're wearing a jersey that happens to be soccer from one of the teams that are in your countries? Like, what does looking suspicious mean? Also, people talk about papers. Papers. What are papers? What does that mean? You know what? Is it your driver's license? Is it your passport? Is it your residency card, your permanent residency card? Is it your birth certificate? Is it your social security number? Is it all five? I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. Chris, keep it together, girl. I hope that all of y'all are safe with your families. Keep being kind. Keep being the person that's empathetic, because that's going to take you a very long way. Being rude, abrasive, disrespectful, condescending, and entitled is going to bring you to the pits of hell, honey. And you're going to burn. And I'm a cackle when I'm looking down below. Clock that tea.
So it's completely legal now that I could look undocumented, that I could be speaking Spanish, that I could look to blue collar, and I need to show documents so that I won't get detained, so that I won't get arrested, so that I won't get deported. And this is all legal now just because of how I look.
Fuck every one of you SCOTUS ass motherfuckers. Fuck every one of you Congress ass workers. Fuck every one of you just that are sitting on the House of Representatives right now. Fuck every one of you that are sitting on the House of Senate right now. Fuck everybody in that White House right now, right? The president, the vice president, their family, grandparents, their grandparents' children, that whole family line, bro. Wait. But like, no, seriously. Because they have clearly shown day after day, hour after hour, second by second, they vote to even pass on bills, like at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., etc. Bills that will make our lives 1,000 times harder. And this is just me expressing my our shared anger for whatever the fuck is happening right now. Also remember that the power is always within. And I say that to the fullest extent of whatever that sentence can mean. Everyone has free will. Again, it's fuck the whole system. Life does not. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So it is official. SCOTUS just made it possible, made it legal for ICE to detain anyone that looks Hispanic or speaks Spanish. So basically anyone who has my same skin complexion and speaks Spanish like I do. This is a direct violation of our 14th and 4th Amendment rights. We all know that the majority of these cosplay wannabe Call of Duty fucking wannabe ICE agents that Trump selected probably failed sociology class. So they don't know the difference between Puerto Ricans who are born in America, who are my skin complexion, and South Americans. So now SCOTUS has made it possible for people like myself who were born here, who serve this country. And because I speak Spanish, if I decide that I want to go out with my mom one day and we decide that we want to say something in Spanish or whatever, we can be detained. This is not America. The America that we once knew disappeared 8 months ago. And the America that I once served proudly and honorably no longer exists. For any Latino or any Hispanic or anyone for that matter who is not from this country that is coming to this country to come and visit, this is not the America that used to be. Stay your at home. Don't give America not one more dollar. Don't come over here. Don't go and tour all of the, different historical places. Don't do it. Because it's bad enough that American citizens like myself who are Hispanic now have to watch our backs.
What does an illegal look like? No, like for real, like what does an illegal look like? Brown? Latino? If you are Latino, you need to listen to this. Today, the Supreme Court, I'm going to try to explain this super simple with broad strokes. A group of individuals in Los Angeles are suing the Trump administration and ICE for the way that they are conducting their raids and they are detaining U.S. citizens. Okay, we got that? A judge in California in that circuit said, hey, these ICE agents are illegally profiling these individuals, discriminating against them based on the color of their skin or them speaking Spanish or accents. So then the Supreme Court heard the case. Well, they didn't really hear the case. They read it and said, no, the California judge, no, he's wrong. We're going to put a stay on this until it goes through the whole court system, which means ICE can continue to do these types of raids to profile Latinos. But there's more. Justice Kavanaugh said this: to be clear, apparent ethnicity alone cannot furnish reasonable suspicion under this court's case law regarding immigration stops. However, that's the key word. However is like, but it can be a relevant factor when considered along with other salient factors. So if they look brown, if they speak Spanish or have an accent and are dressed in like construction attire, or they look like a plumber or a housekeeper or whatever the ICE agent thinks they look like, profiles them, they can stop them. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who is the Latina, said, we should not have to live in a country where the government can seize anyone who looks Latino, speaks Spanish, and appears to work a low-wage job. But there's more. You know how they say it's temporary? It's not, because watch this. Justice Kavanaugh said again, the Trump administration has shown not only that the Supreme Court would be likely to grant review, but also that it would be likely to reverse the lower court's ruling in challengers' favor. Basically, if this got up to the Supreme Court is going to actually rule with the Trump administration. Why? The challengers, the people who are suing the administration, likely lack a legal right to sue, known as standing, Kavanaugh wrote, because although they may have been stopped in the past, they have no good basis to believe that law enforcement, ICE, will unlawfully stop them in the future based on the prohibitive factors.
If you are Latino, if you speak Spanish, if you work a low-wage job, well, the Supreme Court just gave the government permission to treat you like a criminal, no evidence required. I'm Eliza Orland's career public defender for 15 years in Manhattan, and I have seen racial profiling destroy lives. And what did the Supreme Court just do? Well, they stayed a court order that would have stopped it, instead allowing these unconstitutional stops to continue. The case is Noam v. Vasquez Perdomo, and here's what happened. In Los Angeles, federal agents launched an operation targeting places like bus stops, car washes, and farms. They wore masks, they carried rifles, they pulled up in unmarked vans. They chased people, tackled them, and detained them on the spot. No warrants, no individualized suspicion, just brown skin, Spanish language, and manual labor. A district court stepped in and said that is unconstitutional. They ruled that you cannot stop people based solely on race, language, job, or location because none of those things are evidence of a crime. And because any rule that casts suspicion on huge numbers of innocent people cannot be reasonable under the Fourth Amendment. However, the government appealed and the Supreme Court just stayed that ruling, which is a procedural move that allows these stops to continue while the case works its way through the courts, which could take years. They said immigration agents can keep using those same exact factors to stop people. One person they stopped was a U.S. citizen. They asked if he was American 3 times. He said yes 3 times. They still threw him against a fence, twisted his arms, and confiscated his ID and never gave it back. And now this Supreme Court says that kind of stop is legally justified. They're calling it immigration enforcement. But what is happening is straight up racial profiling. Agents are using appearance, language, and occupation as shortcuts to suspicion. It's blatantly unconstitutional and it's incredibly dangerous. I have represented countless people who were targeted, arrested, and brutalized just for existing in public while being brown. And now the Supreme Court just put its stamp of approval on that kind of policing by ICE. We cannot treat this as business as usual. This decision will have ripple effects far beyond immigration cases. The government doesn't need more power to stop and question people. It needs more accountability. This ruling is horrendous. It is a green light for discrimination, and it puts everyone at risk. Let me know in the comments if you want a longer breakdown of this case and its implications. And I hate to have to say this, but if you have the appearance of being Latino, please carry copies of your documents with you. If you're furious, if you're sick over this, you're not alone. Please follow me for updates and breakdowns and ways to fight back. And please share this video. People need to know what the Supreme Court just did.
Now that the Supreme Court has ruled that it is perfectly legal to racially profile Latinos based off of the brownness of our skin and based off of the language that we speak, I will be speaking nothing but Spanish. Así que ya no me hablen en inglés, puro pinche español from here on out. And when I'm driving down predominantly white neighborhoods, pura pinche banda, puro pinche corrido, like, period.
It's a sad week this week, considering that the U.S. Supreme Court has allowed DHS and ICE agents now to conduct racial profiling of Latinos in this country. It's only going to lead to more racism incidents against Latinos, and now it's going to cause us to question everybody, even myself. When I go out and speak Spanish to my son, I'm going to be worried that somebody may hear that and may think that I'm undocumented, or my son is. So I fear for the rest of our community and our country. This is not what the Constitution was supposed to allow, but yet the Supreme Court is allowing this to happen and seemingly following a lot of the Fox News talking points. So it's unfortunate this is happening, but let's keep hope, let's keep the faith, and fight back the right way, legally and through the midterms and other ways. Stay safe out there and know your rights.
This is now a show me your papers country. Show me your papers. Prove to me that you are lawful in the United States. It doesn't matter anymore with respect to the reasonableness of this type of stop. That's what the Supreme Court has done. It has green-lighted racial profiling of Hispanics. This will have a bigger impact for certain other groups. What the U.S. Supreme Court has done, friends, is essentially they've said that the Trump administration can continue with its racial profiling of mainly Latino individuals in California if an ICE agent sees someone who looks Hispanic, has a little Spanish accent, works in a particular place, is in a particular location, and while this litigation is going on, they could continue to do those types of stops and detain these individuals. You guys know now that the stakes are incredibly high if an individual is detained, because mandatory detention is what a lot of people are going to face now if they are detained by ICE, if they enter the United States without inspection years ago or even recently. This issue with the Supreme Court has broader implications for the entire United States. This type of litigation is likely to be tied up for years in the Supreme Court, which means that U.S. citizens, green card holders, and people who are lawful in the United States face the risk of also being stopped and detained and possibly, obviously, losing their job because they're going to be missing from work for God knows how many days until ICE sorts out the issue of their status. And I think that eventually, this has broader implications for Black people, particularly Black men, who most likely be racially profiled in different ways. Guys, this is serious. This is very upsetting. I'm covering all things related to Trump immigration changes. Follow for more.
I knew that Latinos would vote for Trump to come expeditiously to the front of the class, because when we said last November that Latinos would be racially profiled under this administration, what did you say? He's just going after criminals. He's not going after all Latinos, just the bad ones. Which is interesting, because yesterday the Supreme Court did decide that the Trump administration can continue to racially profile Latinos in their immigration crackdown. They can stop, question, and briefly detain people based on color of their skin, race, ethnicity, on their accent, and whether they speak a little Spanish, where they work, are they in a construction site or a farm, and their proximity to where they believe other undocumented people are located. Usually, under the Fourth Amendment, federal agents would have to prove reasonable suspicion for detaining people. What is now considered reasonable suspicion is how brown you are. That Miami accent too strong? Goodbye. And just so we're abundantly clear, no, you don't have to be a criminal, because it was never about catching criminals. It was always about fulfilling an anti-immigrant sentiment in this country. It was always about mass supporting as many people as they possibly could, regardless of their criminal record.
Where is that Mexican Trump supporter that was on my page defending Donald Trump about he's gonna deport actual violent criminals? No, what the fuck is this? What do you have to say against this? He's allowed to profile us, Mexicans. I'm Mexican, you are Mexican. So what do you have to say for that? What is he doing now? You can be detained. What do you have to, you're still defending this guy. How are brown people still defending Donald Trump? How can you be brown right now and be like, yeah, that's my president? The fuck?
Shout out to all the people that I've included in the segment. I could not help it, but just feel so bad. My heart is broken for people that I probably have never even met. It is very heartbreaking. I know all the people that we have included in the segments, and their feelings are probably way more than what many Hispanics and Latinos, Black and brown people feel about this incident. And too bad black people tried to stop this. They tried to. Nobody respects them. Nobody thinks they are smart. Nobody thinks they have the capacity to help others when all they have ever done in their lives is help others. Black people have other people in mind. The pain in my eyes is just real. Because this community, now not all of it, okay, not all of it, but the few sellouts were willing to have their people tossed like dogs, like animals, to have them tossed like stones, to have them tossed like they are not humans, thinking that they will hold forks and knives and sit on that table and be, respected and loved because they thought they will be white, because they thought they are the special ones. Now the promises are broken. A lot of them are coming out, talking about how he lied to them. If he could lie about the big, beautiful bill, and now he's changing the name, why? Because he wanted to trick and trap the ignorant, uneducated MAGA people. Because right now, he has senses to say that this bill does not, the name does not explain and, just bring out all the details of the bill. Yeah. All those promises broken. What would you make, what would make you feel like your loyalty could be respected? My heart can't help it but break for the so many tears, for the so many mothers, brothers, sisters, fathers that are just working and trying to build, something from scratch, because probably where they come from is not just so much opportunities. The indigenous lands that are not supposed to be for these demons. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to call them demons. I barely use that language. I reserve it. No calling the people. The spirits that reside within them are demons that are super obsessed, greedy. They cannot be quenched or satisfied. They are obsessed with violence and oppression. That's what is known of them. And to be honest, I feel like something's being unraveled and unlocked to just flourish on this planet, and it is starting in the United States of America. And just like some of these tactics were tried on black people, they were tried and tested on black people to see if they can work. This is how they are doing it right now to the Latinos, black. And if you look anything, and this is not just for the Latino people to be concerned. I tell you what, they are black people that have married these people, have kids with them. They call humanity weakness, and that's what they want to erase out of all the people in the US, not to care at all. Because once they manage to isolate you, not to care about other people's sufferings, when they come for you, the other communities won't care at all. I've seen more than enough to know that this dude don't care for nobody else. Nobody except if you're white and you support him. That is demonic. That's not godly. Scripture said that no wonder Satan himself can, disguise himself as an angel of light. That's what this administration is doing. Too bad. The parents, hardworking people, you have to carry documents. And that time is coming, by the way, when they're not only going to do it to Latinos, they've already unleashed it into black communities. I think it is time. There's a brother that said, hands down, this is a dictatorship. And I couldn't think of any proper time to use this reflection, because it is a true reflection. This right here is a dictatorship. And I think it's high time. Those that voted for him know that not even the Supreme Court, not any judge, not anybody can be able to stop him. This is demonic, hands down. Demonic dictatorship. Nobody can stop him. Because even when there are some decisions that are passed, they are always halted. Yeah? So hands down, it is a dictatorship. And I think it's high time that those that have trust in the system, that this system will do something, the system works for him. The system works for Donald Trump. If they can, block the Epsteins from being revealed, if all of them could literally vote not for a bill to be passed for this person to be exposed, what do you think this is? The damage this is about to create, the hate, the amount of hate this administration is tearing among the American population, but not just the American population. That's why I'm saying this is demonic. Even internationally, the hate people are going to start having for Americans. Do you know people don't like Americans, like really, but just for minor things because of your government? Right now, it's gonna get worse. Because if you treat people, citizens like this, wait until the other governments of the world start unleashing this very thing on you. When right now, majority of Americans don't even want to reside in America, they want to move away. Because even for them, it is too much. Now ask yourself, where are you gonna go? That's why I'm like, it doesn't matter who voted for who. Before those consequences get unraveled and you start experiencing them, you may not know. But soon as you start experiencing it, that's when you know you've been betrayed. That's when you know you have effed up. These are the feelings and reactions of a lot of Latinos. And the fear in the Black community too is real. It is real. When they say they want to make Chicago a war zone, those are your sons and daughters. Those are my brothers. Those are my cousins. Those are my people. The fact that you have to work with papers. That reminds me of apartheid South Africa. Here in Kenya, you must, like, it happened in Kenya too. Oh yeah, it did. Anyway, my heart goes out to you, my people, both Black, brown people. I think to the Latino community, I think the people that you need to strangle are those people that betrayed you, that did this to you. Oh, also, majority of the people that were even supporting this, for them to cover up their tracks, unfortunately, some of them are discovered not to be legals. So that's why they supported this, so that them being seen as vocal and, very expressive, everybody would think, oh, they are legal. A lot of them are not. Those are tactics. My prayers go to you guys. Stay safe out there. Too bad that it is going to be difficult for you to do anything without, being in fear of your life. And for those that are saying, if you're not a criminal, you have nothing to fear about, you should shut up. And God bless you. Okay? Because when bad times fall on your house, people will see you crying and screaming and they will not come to help you. So don't put yourself in that situation of rejoicing over other people's, tragedies. Don't be there rejoicing over the fact that this guy's, policing Black communities, right? Don't. Anyway, what do I know? My prayers to everybody for safety I love all of you, and I'll see you guys later. Just if you find these episodes interesting, educative, like them, share them, and you can as well subscribe to the channel. That would do me amazing. I'll see you guys later. My name is Chrissy. Love all of you. Bye.